How to communicate effectively with your clients. This is the hidden secret to delivering A-plus customer service. My name is Zach Pasquarello, and I have had a successful bookkeeping business for the past 3 years. I work with local small business owners. My goal is to teach you how to start and grow your bookkeeping business. If you want to schedule a one-on-one consultation with me, you can use the link in the description below to set up a meeting. Starting a bookkeeping business is a 4-step process. First, you need to learn bookkeeping in QuickBooks. Second, you need to learn marketing and sales. Third, you need to learn how to deliver A-plus customer service. And 4, you need to work really hard. I make videos every single day, and my goal is to teach you how to start a bookkeeping business. Today, we're going to focus on step number 3, how to deliver A-plus customer service. Customer service is all about communication, and communicating with your clients can be very difficult, but here are some steps that you can take to improve your communication. As a bookkeeping business owner, you will be working almost exclusively with small business owners, and that comes with unique challenges. First of all, business owners are really busy. They wear multiple hats. They don't really want to be involved with bookkeeping, and they hired you because they don't want to do their bookkeeping. Maybe they don't know how to do their bookkeeping. So with business owners being super busy, it can be really difficult to get a hold of them. It can be really difficult to schedule meetings with them. They might go a week or 2 weeks or a month without responding to your calls or your emails, and that can be really frustrating for you as their bookkeeper. Business owners might not be super tech savvy, whether they're young or old, experienced or brand new to the business. I have seen different people have varied different levels of ability when it comes to technology. Email might not be the best for this particular business owner. Maybe they don't even have a computer, and they're probably always in the field or always in the shop working on their business. So it might be difficult for them to communicate with you because they might not be super tech savvy. And it's probably frustrating for you because as a bookkeeper, you are at your computer 24/7. You're probably pretty tech savvy. So it kind of just blows your mind. How does this business owner not even know how to open up their email on their computer? But trust me, it happens all the time. But I'm going to give you some solutions for communicating with business owners who might not be super tech savvy. And then lastly, business owners tend to be a little unorganized. They're great at their business, they're great at developing their product or providing their service, but a lot of business owners have a common complaint, and they say they don't like office work or they're not good at administrative tasks, and that's why they hired you as their bookkeeper. They have a problem and you are the solution. So now that they've hired you on as their bookkeeper, it's very important that you deliver A-plus customer service. In order to deliver that high quality customer service, you need to be able to communicate effectively with the business owner. So here are some tips and tricks on how to overcome those barriers. Business owners are really busy, so you need to develop a system. A couple things I do, I work on each client once a week. So if I have XYZ construction company, I will work on their books every single Tuesday. And so if I have questions about their transactions or their bank statements or their accounts, they know to expect an email from me every single Tuesday because that's the same day every week that I work on their books. Developing a system is really important, especially if they're unorganized, because now they get into that habit of receiving emails from you on a consistent basis. Not only is timing important for developing a system, but also the method of communication. Try to be consistent, whether it's emails or text messages or phone calls. Try to be consistent. It can be really difficult to communicate with somebody whenever you're using multiple channels. So if you're using text messages and emails, it can be difficult whenever you're communicating through those two ways. So try to keep communication consistent. For me personally, I prefer emails because text messages can be unprofessional, and also I use my personal phone for my business. So I'm getting personal text messages. If I get business text messages on top of that, everybody has a bunch of unread text messages. They can get quickly lost if you skip a day or over the weekend if somebody texts you. Those can get easily lost. So try to encourage your clients to only communicate via email or some other method of communication that's consistent across the board. You want to keep all of your clients communicating on the same platform because that's a lot easier for you. It might be easy in the beginning when you only have 2 or 3 clients, but when you get 30, 40, 50 clients all sending you messages through various platforms, it's going to be very difficult to keep track of all of your messages. So business owners are unorganized. So you need to develop a system that helps them because you are the bookkeeper, you do the administrative tasks, you are supposed to be the organized one in this business relationship. What I like to do is offer a monthly or a weekly meeting with my clients because by doing their bookkeeping, you need to understand their business and they are going to have some confusing transactions, so you are going to have some questions. It's always best to ask for more details whenever you don't know the answer because the last thing you want to do is incorrectly categorize a transaction. So always ask as much detail as possible and offer a weekly or a monthly meeting. It doesn't have to be a 2-hour meeting. It can be as short as 15 minutes or maybe 1 hour if you're meeting monthly. But try to offer that meeting to the busy, unorganized business owner. That way you can ask all of your questions in one meeting and you can help your clients stay organized and keep their books as accurate as possible. This could be a selling point whenever you're trying to get this client. You can say, hey, I charge $250 a month, and in that $250 fee, I can offer you a 30-minute meeting once a month or a 15-minute meeting every single week. That can be a selling point. You also want to keep everything in writing because if there's ever a question, if there's ever a mistake or a discrepancy, you want to be able to fall back on written evidence. So if I ever have a phone call with a client, I will be sure to send a follow-up email as a reminder. Your client might think, oh, this is great. He's sending me notes from the meeting, and you are doing that. You are trying to stay organized, but in reality, you are also creating a paper trail of your conversation. That way, if they ever ask, hey, what about this? I thought you were going to do that. You can say, no, we actually talked about this in this meeting on that day, and here are the notes that I sent you an email about. We discussed this, and you said you were going to do that. This can cover you in the event of a mistake or a confusion or a discrepancy. Just always try to keep things in writing. Okay, finally, business owners are not super tech savvy. So you need to be flexible. I know it's probably very frustrating if you have a client who doesn't have a computer, or if you have a client who doesn't know how to open up his email. That can be very frustrating, but you need to stay flexible. You need to offer solutions to your client. They have a problem, you are the solution. Texting is, in my opinion, never a good way to communicate with your business owners, but if they're not tech savvy, if they don't like their email or their computer, they're probably going to text you and call you a lot. That's okay if you're willing to work with that client, but keep in mind, if you have a zero tolerance policy, no, absolutely no text messages, and your client continues to text you, maybe this is a sign that it's not a good business relationship. Maybe it's time to drop that client, and that is okay. I know it's tough in the beginning whenever you only have 3 or 4 clients. You could not even imagine dropping a client. You're probably just so thankful that they're even willing to work with you. But if it's a bad business relationship, it's only going to get worse. It's only going to stress you out. You won't be able to deliver A+ customer service if you cannot communicate effectively, so don't be afraid to drop that client. The last thing you want is to continue working with them for 6 more months and it just turns into a really toxic relationship. They might leave you a bad review on Google, they might tell your friends that you're a bad bookkeeper, and you're going to be really stressed out. Not because you are a bad bookkeeper, but just because you were not able to communicate effectively. So don't be afraid to drop that particular client. Last thing I'm going to say is offer to go to their office. If you have a client who's unorganized or super busy or not very tech savvy, they might appreciate you coming to their office. That way you can ask all of your questions in person. Maybe you can log on to their computer for them. But don't forget, you want to charge extra for this. So I charge my hourly rate for travel, and then I also charge a per mile. If the client's only 5 or 10 minutes away, it's not a big deal, but if you have a client that's an hour away, you do not want to drive all the way to your client's office for 1 hour and not get paid for it. So offer to go to their office for an in-person meeting, but don't forget to charge for this because this is an extra service because we typically work remote. That's one of the benefits of having an online bookkeeping business. You can work fully remote, but if it's the only way you can keep a client, don't be afraid to offer an in-person meeting, but remember, always charge extra for additional services.